the only podcast where everything is made up and the points don't matter. This is Bombers.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bombers. Sorry about last week with the technical difficulties. We lost the entire episode completely, so that really sucks. But we're bringing it back strong and great, because this week we have me, Bomber number 5, Anthony, aka Dag, and Bomber number 3, Xiber, aka Xiber.
Yes, and just the two of us still.
No, we're bringing it back even stronger, Xiber. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're joined by a wonderful, amazing best friend, Robb.
Hey, you decided to have me back. Welcome to the bottom of the barrel, folks. We all float down here.
Wait,
Nowhere to go but up, right?
Sure.
how do you float on the bottom of the barrel? Is the barrel empty?
No, that was a Stephen King / It reference.
Oh, with the
We all
clown?
float down here.
Yeah, you know, It, starring Bommy Wise, the dimension-hopping devil clown.
Tim Curry.
Man, and I thought it was just an IT movie.
Close.
I'm excited to have you back here, Robb. I think we're gonna have a fun time. And this time, it's not just me here, sort of babbling at you. Xiber can babble at you too.
So maybe
I love babbling.
I'll
Bombling.
just ramble slightly less this time.
I don't know. Xiber doesn't. He's one of those quiet types that just throws in words here and there.
The strong silent type.
Well,
I dig.
Well, when we finally have 3 people, I'm allowed to do
yeah,
that.
falling back into roles. Yeah, it should be fun. I'm excited. This is our apology for last week's flummox. Here's Robb. Now you can listen to someone more interesting than us.
And next week will be the Apology for Rob episode.
Well, don't spoil it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to think of something pretty big for next
Yeah,
week.
it's gonna have to be
yeah. Go ahead and
Speaking of
to be a
something,
doozy.
speaking of something pretty big, let's move on to the bombastic news. Everyone's favorite section of the show, right, Rob?
Absolutely, the best part.
Did you know that we're on YouTube now?
Did you?
I did. Ironically,
Yeah.
not ironically.
Good.
I'm just saying ironically.
Is that ironic?
No, it's not. That's like the third time I've said it today.
Well,
Ironically,
that's ironic.
you can find us on YouTube now, where you can listen to our podcasts. We have the whole 4th season up. At some point, I'll find time to work on the 3rd season. So yeah, if you really want to watch our show, and by watch I mean like see little squiggly sound waves and such, that's where you can do it at. This is Bombers. We also have some nice Twitch scenes up. Dag and people finished the Ark Survival recently, so you can... Do you have the video up of the boss fight there yet?
That final boss fight video is still in the editing process, but it will be going up sometime soon. So if you are interested in seeing us finish the final boss of Ark Survival Evolved Ragnarok Plus map, keep an eye on the YouTube. Go over there and subscribe so that you can get notified whenever that video goes up.
Yeah, if you want to see that mouthful, that's where you can do
I
it.
said words.
Anything else that you want to know about us, you can find our website, thisisbombers.com, where it has information about us, our Twitch, email, our Discord, link in description below, where you can join us to have fun conversations like Rob sees every day. Also, we got our Patreon, where you can give us money, become a friend, acquaintance, best friend, the executive bomb-ducer. If you like our stuff, want to give us money, and want to get something out of it, that's where you want to go. If you're a friend or above, you can even be on the OnlyFriends.
Calm down there, Xiber.
OnlyFriends channel, our Discord, where we usually post fun pictures of our cats and dogs and other animals. And finally, shoutouts to our current friends of the show, Haley, Aaron, Minted Peas, and Reaper. our acquaintances, and our best friends, Anne and Rob, whoever that is.
I disappeared there for a second.
And if you...
Sorry.
Again. If you would like to be an amazing guest on the show like Rob, best friends and friends of the show have a higher priority for joining us.
Yeah.
That does remind me though, Xiber, I need to go on the website and actually add the YouTube information and that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we gotta do a lot of stuff on our site.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I fixed some of it. There is some updated info on the website, so you, listener, audience member, can go.
It's
and
a pretty
check
nice
out
site.
That new stuff.
It's in dark mode, so you don't have to worry about burning your eyes.
Oh yeah, that was my choice because
I like your eyes too.
But speaking of, oh my goodness, Xiber, I'm trying to segue here, bruh.
Segue like how Rob just went to a different room.
Yeah, it's,
yeah, that was pretty great.
And it hates me. I don't know why, or I hate that it hates me. I don't know.
Oh, that sucks.
So now I'm in my daughter's room.
Well, that's a new room, and here are some new games. We're gonna do the upcoming releases. I'm gonna throw in one game from last week that we missed with the loss of last week's episode, which is Neon White, that came out today, actually, as we're recording this, but came out on Thursday the 16th. That is the shooter card game that was revealed in one of the indie showcases sometime last year.
That game that
we talked about
you seem interested in, and I'm just all like, huh.
I am pretty interested. I might go and see about that this weekend, so maybe I will have talked about that on the Discord by the time this episode goes up.
Well, if you do play it, then we'll just have to talk about it in a minute recap at some point.
That's how that works. Then, the 21st, Tuesday. Hey, Xiber, I know you're excited about this one. Fall Guys is coming to the PlayStation 5, the Series Xbox, the Xboxes, the Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. And also is going free to play,
so it's getting a PS5 version, and then every version is going free to play. So there is absolutely no reason that anyone should not join us on Community Night to play Fall Guys.
Yeah, it's going to be on every system, and I believe they all
Yes, they are crossplay. I
still,
made sure of that.
The only limb fact that I see on that is I think you can only team up with a total of 4 people.
Something like
team,
that, but just team up 4 people, hope we get in the same lobby with other people if they want to play, just see what happens.
Yep. I don't much care for this game because I am very bad.
I know, but it's so fun.
If people load that up as a community night choice, they can watch me just be angry all the time.
I'm pretty sure that's why people like watching us play golf with friends, so...
Yeah, golf with friends is actually fun.
It's fun to hate on golf.
Rob, have you checked out Fall Guys at all?
I'm not much of a Battle Royale game fan.
It's a platformer. There could be a better version of a Battle Royale platformer, but...
I'm thinking of the, was it Fall Guys, what was it? Ultimate Knockout or whatever it was called. So
yeah, that's it.
Oh,
it is technically a battle royale game, but it's a platformer.
No, I have not checked it out. I saw battle royale and kind of checked out myself. If I'm being honest,
I turned it off.
One of the popular modes is get to the end of the map before a certain percentage of people. It's that kind of battle royale.
Oh,
yeah, it's like
Wipeout.
What was that? Super Mario 35.
Oh, okay. That sounds a bit more interesting then.
Yeah, the kind of thing where you're trying to finish. It's battle royale because it's got up to 60 people in a round, and they slowly attrit as the rounds go on because the people that don't make it to the end just get kicked out. So that's where the battle royale comes from.
I didn't realize that. Like I said, I saw battle royale and didn't go any further.
Yeah, one of my favorite stages on it is that, like, as you're going through the level, the platforms you're going on keep getting higher, and there's a sludge that's rising as you're going. So, you can get to the end and not have to wait another 10 minutes for the last remaining people to get through, because the sludge is going to make sure that they die if they don't get there fast enough.
Yeah, I don't like the sludge one.
I do sometimes. Yeah, that's kind of the issue, is that the physics is not... It's not helping you.
Yeah. The game is specifically designed to be wonky and weird because it's just for funsies. It's not like a real competitive experience. You're competing, but it's not like fine-tuned.
It would be interesting to play a game like that. I do like parkour.
Yeah. That's Fall Guys. Also, on Tuesday, the 21st, is the Shadowrun Trilogy coming to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Shadowrun being, of course, a very classic, like, cyberpunk RPG experience.
Is it, like, an actual RPG?
It's like a tactical RPG, isn't it? Or, no?
No, well, I mean, Shadowrun itself is originally a tabletop roleplay, and then
so is it like the first two Fallouts, or?
Probably similar. I mean, they are. Whoever, I think it was Robb said tactical RPG, which yes, that is what they are. They are tactical RPGs. So similar to like some of the original Fallouts and 3D isometric style look to them, or like XCOM to a degree, but not quite.
Not quite as
what I'm saying.
XCOM-y.
Like Fire
not quite
Emblem?
as XCOM
for battles, at least.
No, maybe.
Okay, well,
like what's that series called with the Dungeons and Dragons one?
Oh, I don't
Baldur's
know
Gate.
anything about that.
Oh. Well, Shadowrun coming on Tuesday, tomorrow. Thursday, the 23rd, Sonic Origins comes out.
Was that the first four Sonic?
Or
Sonic 1 through 4?
It's the Sonic 1 through 4 all together, which means that that whole thing with them delisting the individual versions of all of those games. So the only way that you can get any of the original Sonic games is to get the Sonic Origins
Which is more
pack.
expensive than
buying all the games separately.
Which, like, it's it's a full-on remake, so it's not like they just ported them and grouped them together. So, like, technically, it should be worth more, but it's still disappointing that you can't just get the cheaper already existing option.
Yeah.
Yeah. It opens up interesting conversations in the vein of, like, video game historicity, like, keeping the old things around for archive purposes.
Like, as I mentioned before when we talked about this, it's like how they got rid of some of the past Final Fantasy games listings when they released the pixel remastered versions, even though, like, they're already remade.
They're different. Yeah. It's weird. That's the Origins. It's coming to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, so also to everything, which is why they delisted all of it on everything. Although, if you do already own versions of those old games, I believe you'll still be able to download them.
Oh, yeah, I would be a lot more frustrated if you can't even re-download them.
Yeah,
then I'd be all like, alright, give me my money back?
Right. And Friday, the 24th, Capcom... Yeah, big day. Because Capcom Fighting Collection is coming to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and the PC. This is a large selection of just so many old Capcom fighting games. There's Hyper Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition, Super Gem Fighter, Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Red Earth, Cyberbots, Darkstalkers, Night Warriors, Vampire Savior, Vampire Hunter 2, Vampire Savior 2.
Street Fighter 2, the Anniversary Edition.
all on one big collection. I mean, honestly, the coolest part of this, as far as I'm concerned, is the inclusion of Darkstalkers. But if you like retro Capcom fighters, here you are, because there are just a lot of them to play on.
Online play is pretty big for whenever they do these kinds of things.
Yep, and it does have online play, casual, ranked, custom, a whole bunch of training mode, different achievement type things, cool little display filters to make it look like you're on a CRT
Button customization. That's amazing. A museum, it's got a museum, that makes sense.
Yeah, as with a lot of these old collections, it's a bunch of the whole, like, here's the original, whatever you call that stuff, whenever your concept art there. I found it. I found the word. Here's a bunch of concept art and all kinds of stuff.
I miss when, doing stuff unlocked concept art in games. Bring that back.
Yeah. That was always great.
I mean, there was a little.
So there are.
I was just gonna say there's a little bit of art unlocks in. I'm gonna say the D word here, Metroid Dread.
Dread. Yeah, there is, and that's one of the things that Dread did right.
Can you, Anthony, tell me one other thing that you think Dread did right?
Hold on.
It somehow came up with another good reason for her to lose all of her powers at the beginning.
You put me on the spot here. Let me try to remember that game.
Assumed you would say no and move on. Sorry.
No, I'm actually thinking about it, and I will say, like, the actual, like, combat and controls of the game are really clean. I don't much care for the overall map progression and all of that kind of stuff, but the actual, like, running around and pressing buttons part of the game is very tight and clean. So that's another thing they did right with that game. There, I said a good thing about
that was the first thing that came to my mind, so you chose a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, the controls are nice.
Imagine going back to the first game. It's like, oh, I can't point anywhere.
In any direction.
Yeah. Just forward.
All right, let's go on to the game that Haley and I are looking forward to.
Oh, there's more games coming out?
Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes to the Nintendo Switch, also on Friday the 24th.
I would be more excited about this if, one, I had played any of the original Fire Emblem Warriors to start. I bought it, played almost none of it.
That's sad, because I heard really good things about their incorporation of Fire Emblem into the game.
Yeah, I didn't play a lot, and like I'm starting to get a little bit of Musou fatigue with these games, because we've gotten two Zelda Warrior games.
Yeah, and this is now the second Fire Emblem one, and I think it's going to be pretty similar to the original Fire Emblem Warriors, and Hyrule Warriors was just something, and I feel like the Three Houses one is going to be similar to the second Hyrule Warriors, which was Breath of the Wild based and
Age of Calamity.
So like I'm pretty excited to see how it's going to be fully in the Three Houses universe and following that kind of stuff. You're going to have just Three Houses characters to deal with. It forces them to not just do mimics of characters like, well, they didn't really do that in the first Hyrule Warriors, but they did that with Fire Emblem Warriors.
I really want to like these Warriors type games, and I might actually like them, but I just keep thinking I'll give them a chance and I'll try and play Hyrule Warriors or whatever, but I've just never really actually taken the time to sit down and play one, if I'm being honest.
Well, if you want to try out a Musou game, if you played like Persona 5, I would highly recommend the Persona 5 Strikers. It's not a Warriors Musou game, but like it feels.
But it is.
Well, I mean, like it's not the same people who made it.
Oh, really? I thought it was still teamed up with.
I didn't think so.
I'm gonna look that up while you continue.
But like it's basically Persona 5, but with Musou's whatever pronunciation style fighting, and it fits really well because like, they still got their elements and the personas and all that stuff.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I may have to give it a check it out.
And then also, it's just a straight up sequel to Persona 5.
Interesting. Yeah, I did hear it was an actual like continuation of the story and not a weird let's retell the story but with different mechanics type of thing. According to the internet, the wide world of the internet where no one ever lies, Persona 5 Strikers was developed by Megaforce and P Studios, published by Atlus, but is a crossover between the Koei Tecmo Warriors franchise and the Persona series. So I'm not sure if they were inspired by it and people have just said, oh yeah, it's blah blah Warriors, or if there was actually a deal there, because this is not really...
Well, I mean, if Koei Tecmo didn't actually do anything to it, then...
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. Like, did they partner with
Muso exists outside of Koei Tecmo.
Technically, but Koei Tecmo has such a stranglehold on the entire idea of it, mostly because they tend to do it pretty well.
Yeah, but like in this case, Strikers like doesn't follow the thing of a giant landscape full of a bunch of minions for you to kill kind of stuff.
Which is pretty...
Like you actually... Just like in Persona 5, you can sneak up on enemies and then attack them, and it just turns into Muso style in a little area.
Right. Age of Calamity also was a very good Warriors game, so if you're interested in looking into it, I would recommend that.
Yeah.
Because
I will definitely have to check it out.
It kind of comes off a little bit like Zelda fanfiction, but I mean, you being such a huge Zelda fan...
Zelda fanfiction, you say? Never heard of it.
Huh.
And like with Age of Calamity, it's not just just like, all right, now go defeat this general and then this general. Like they try to come up reasons for you to go to places and such, and usually you actually optionally take over bases to get collectibles instead of because that's the only thing to do.
Yeah, bonuses and stuff. Yeah, they have enough variety in mission objectives that it doesn't get boring and old like a lot of the Warrior games.
Oh, it's not just
tend to do.
Go beat this horde over there for generic story piece, etc., etc.
Yeah, there's an actual like script going on and a different. Hey, beat this now. Kill all of these. Now you have to unlock this and the other thing to do the stuff, and there's some variety to objectives.
Also, you can actually 100% the Age of Calamity, unlike the first Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, that one was absurd.
Back to
but those are all the
I was going to say real quick, back to Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, they did announce recently that like there are actually different story paths to go with the 3 houses, just like the original game,
just like the 3
because it was a question of like how are they going to do that, but it appears like you'd have to play the game 3 times, just like 3 houses,
which in that particular instance is fine because it's a central conceit of the original 3 houses. If I had to do something like that in a different Muso, I might be a little bit upset.
Yeah, I guess it depends. Like, is it going to be mission based where you can switch between the 3 at any time, or is it going to be like an actual save file that goes through one whole thing?
That's an interesting question.
We'll find out in a week.
I guess we will. Yeah, no more releases. Those are the cool ones coming up. If there are any that you are looking forward to, let us know in the Discord. Rob, have any of these piqued your interest?
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check out. Maybe not Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes from the beginning, just because I haven't played. I mean, I played Dynasty Warriors like what seems like a million years ago, but eventually maybe I'll get to that. And then the Shadowrun games, and I don't know, Fall Guys. Maybe I just saw, like I said, I saw Battle Royale and checked out immediately. So maybe I'll
do it.
I mean, now that Fall Guys is free to play, you don't really, as Xiber said, you have no excuse.
Unless you're a party pooper.
Well, I could be a party pooper, I suppose. But I'll have to give it a look.
And then the final upcoming release, actually, I just thought of this that I want to mention. The final upcoming release that is happening this coming week is Fake Fest. Will be occurring in scenic Madison, Wisconsin. Certain people are aware of this. It is a fun little pretend music festival hosted by Shay, and I think that all three of us that are on this podcast are going to that.
That's the plan.
Yes. I may be there a day later than anticipated, but that's just because no one will trade with me at work, and all of my coworkers suck. But I will definitely be there.
Rude.
Eventually.
Burn the building down. Don't actually do that since it's a hospital, though.
Yeah, the only issue is that Fire Emblem Warriors comes out that Friday.
Oh.
So Haley's just going to have to go to a random GameStop or something in Wisconsin to get it.
Yeah, go to Pre-Played or something. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody hanging out, having a good time. But what that really means, most importantly for the podcast, is there will not be an episode that will release next week. So it's an upcoming not release. Just letting you all know that next week, because we will all be having fun at this Fake Fest, we will not have time to record an episode for next next Monday.
We could try, but it'd be really loud, and there would be copyright issues with all the music going on.
Yeah, it'd be messy. And maybe...
Instead, go find your second favorite podcast and listen to that for us.
Sure. Maybe... I think I might have to look into bringing, like, Age of Calamity or something to Fake Fest so that you can check it out.
Oh,
Rob.
so, yes. That... why not? Sounds good. I'll check it out.
And I know a lot of you out there are thinking, what? No episode of the podcast list next week. That's awful. That is just what a bomb. They really dropped a bomb on us. This is
how ironic.
This is very ironic. Which maybe we'll talk about that in our next segment, the Weekly Bomb. News items that are either the bomb or a bomb. Either that is awesome or, oh no, not so awesome. So, first news item on the Weekly Bomb. There will be no episode of the podcast next week thanks to Fake Fest.
Ooh, a bomb!
I think this is the bomb because I'm excited to go to Fake Fest.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. I mean, I'm not, regularly part of the podcast, but still, it's the bomb.
Robb will have something else to listen to, so he's fine.
Yeah. On that note, let's actually do the real Weekly Bomb here. Xiber, why don't you start us off?
All right, I'm gonna start off with something that just happened, like right before we got together to record this podcast. Final Fantasy VII had its 25th anniversary today. And so they did a stream about it where they announced so many Final Fantasy VII things. Holy crap. So, like, they got that First Soldier Battle Royale mobile game going out. They announced third season, whatever stuff. But then they showed Ever Crisis, which is supposed to be a mobile game that goes throughout the entirety of the Final Fantasy VII story. That's beta testing this year, so excited for that. And then they announced they are remaking Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, which is the game that takes place before Final Fantasy VII, starring Haley's favoriteest character of all time, Zack Fair.
Zack.
And so, yes, we're so excited about that. It looks really good. Like, it's got the remake model stuff, plus some Crisis Core extra gameplay in it. That's coming out this winter.
Crisis Core was PSP only,
it was.
Wasn't it?
And so Haley likes to say it's impossible to play anymore, even though I have a PSP, but no, it's impossible to play anymore.
And I have a PSP.
Yeah. And then after that, they announced the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, which is coming out 2 winters from now. And they show...
Oh, that's finally actually official.
Yeah,
now?
It's called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I think.
Wasn't wasn't the first one called like Retrograde or Integrate? Or
No, that was the
something?
DLC, the Yuffie DLC, and that was Intergrade. Oh, that's finally coming to Final Fantasy VII Remake and the Intergrade are finally coming to Steam. It was originally only Epic. And also the DLC is finally coming to PS4. Originally it was only PS5 playable. So, yeah, a lot of fun stuff to talk about there when initially people were just all like, oh, they'll put our hopes up. They're probably just going to, talk about Ever Crisis and that's it. But here they go. They announce 4 different games that they're working on. And it's like, oh, so that's what Square Enix has been doing because they kind of like released all but one thing that they had shown us prior to this.
Yeah, the news was real dry on the Square Enix front there for a while.
And so this might as well just be like the E3 for Square Enix, Final Fantasy VII.
I know my brother was annoyed by the Final Fantasy event because still, and he played somewhere else, but still no Final Fantasy 14 for Xbox after being announced like what, how many years ago? It's been a minute. I know that.
I didn't know they ever announced that.
Yeah, I didn't realize they had announced that.
It's allegedly been in it has allegedly been in development for quite a while, but there's no one. I don't know. Hold on. It was announced. When was it? I can't even remember. Anyway, yeah, no. So it has been announced, but there's no news, and the news as of like 2 months ago was that there's still no news. They can talk about it, or they can't talk about it, but they would like to talk about it. And my brother, being an Xbox fan and also a Final Fantasy fan, was really hopeful for today, even though nada.
So what I'm seeing here is that there was an interview with Yoshida in October 2021 where he was just all like, yeah, there's talks about it, but nothing like actually official.
Apparently the initial quote-unquote announcement was Phil Spencer back in 2019 said that Microsoft was going to bring 14 to the Xbox platform. Back in November of 2019, Phil Spencer said
that's Phil Spencer. Like, I don't...
Yeah, I know.
You gotta get it from Square Enix's mouth, not...
Yeah,
that's just Phil saying, we would like this to happen.
Yeah, that'd be like PlayStation being all like, we're gonna have Halo on here someday.
One of these days. I mean, Final Fantasy 16 is coming to the Xbox, so...
Yeah, that's
a thing.
Something interesting. I'm actually, like, pretty surprised by the 7 Remake coming to Steam, because, like, so far, Square Enix has just been releasing everything on the Epic Game Store. Like, all their Kingdom Hearts games are on there and such. Mm-hmm. So, like, hey, if that's moving to Steam, maybe they'll start putting everything new on Steam as well.
Yeah, the multiple PC storefronts for games is kind of obnoxious, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a symptom of the fact that basically all PC gaming was taken over by the Steam storefront a decade ago, so...
Yeah, it was kind of amusing when they announced that it was coming to Steam. They're all like, we hope that this will allow more people to play the game. And I'm just like, well, they could have played... I mean, it will, but they could have played it already.
Yep.
Oh, they did announce that it has Steam Deck support, though, so I guess that's a reason.
That's good.
That's cool.
That'll expand it, yeah.
Yeah, I told Haley, like, there could be a day someday where I'm going to actually buy a Steam Deck. Who knows? I mean, I guess it depends on how well it does.
Yeah, I'm still not... I'm honestly way more interested in the PSVR 2 than I am in the Steam Deck at this point.
Oh, me too.
So that would be that's my next big...
But, like, I love playing Switch in handheld mode. So, like, if I could play a bunch of games I have on PC that don't really need to be on PC in handheld mode,
then there you go.
What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, no, I don't really play a lot of PC stuff anyway, so the Steam Deck would maybe give me a reason to delve into that world finally.
Yeah, at that point, you're almost the, like, prime demographic to look into it.
Yeah.
Because you can suddenly expand your library to all those games that you haven't been playing. Someone like me, who has a nice, powerful gaming PC, and what's the point of me getting a Steam Deck?
There's not much point. I have a crappy desktop, and one room of my house, and oh,
That's
high
it?
well, I mean, we have like my wife's laptop. It's for editing. It could definitely run games, but she's a photographer. She's always editing photos, so that's not a thing.
Yeah. You can't get to that. It's being used.
Not very often.
Yeah, so overall,
So that might-
I give the Final Fantasy VII stream thing that happened the bomb.
Yeah, I did not get a chance to watch that, but based off of everything that you just said, I would agree. That sounds like the bomb.
For something that it was relatively short, wasn't it? Like 10, 15 minutes?
It was
seems
10
like,
minutes, yeah.
It seems like they packed a lot of stuff into that brief amount of time. It's kind of impressive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they actually talked about like merchandise and stuff too at the very beginning, and I'm just all like, oh, they're not gonna put much stuff in here then, and then they did afterward.
And then they had bomb after bomb after bomb.
Yeah, good bombs.
Good bombs. All right, Rob, what do you have for our discussion on the weekly bomb?
There was the Microsoft and Bethesda stream earlier this week. I watched some of it. There are things there were things in it that I was actually excited for. They showed a bit of Silksong, the new Hollow Knight.
Yeah, that's been in the works for forever.
Yeah, a long time. Still no release date. It's coming to Game Pass day one. Cool, whatever. But
whenever that day one happens to be,
when is what I want to know. I thought the last case of Benedict Fox looked awesome. It's like a Lovecraftian Metroidvania. So when you put those words together, you got me.
Yeah.
That did look interesting, though I wonder, like, am I going to have a hard time, like, seeing everything that's actually happening there?
Yeah, it did seem like there's always a lot going on the screen. So, and just, how are they going to really work that story? Because, if they're doing Lovecraft, obviously, so there's going to be a lot of fear of the unknown type things. So, it's not always easy to nail that.
Yeah, I hope they do Lovecraft correct and really get into the like psychological, like large scale horror, and not just like, ooh, things are weird. I went crazy because they're doing it. No, it's the whole point of Lovecraft. So many people misinterpret it. It's not like I saw something my brain couldn't process. It's I saw something, my brain processed it, and I have rejected that truth because it is too horrible to actually acknowledge.
Yeah,
it's not that I couldn't understand it. It's that I choose not to understand it.
Yeah,
we I do that all the time.
Need more of the cosmic horror. The like, holy
that
crap,
was a cosmic horror. Thank you.
This is a thing. I know it's a thing, but I'm going to pretend like it's not a thing because I can't possibly fathom said thing.
Yeah. Like, one of the cooler things that I saw that describe it is, imagine an ant who suddenly gained the intelligence of a human and understood the human world, and that they were just an ant in that place. And then imagine that ant's consciousness collapsed back into just being an ant. So they had these memories of the human world, but they can't process it any longer. They can't communicate it to the other ants. And that's what cosmic horror is like. We humans are ants in the world of these eldritch abominations that ruled all of the cosmos. We are ants. We're just insects in the world.
It wasn't all hits, though, at the Microsoft Bethesda thing. Starfield.
No. Oh boy. Here we go.
I just can't help but look at this and not think that it's going to be like the second coming of like No Man's Sky.
Which is
not
what it is, let's be honest.
I don't see anyone that is like, yeah, this is totally going to be awesome. Like, everyone's just very cautious and suspicious.
Like, the concept is really cool. And I was actually kind of sort of starting to get into it, and then they drop there's going to be over 1,000 planets, and I'm like, wait, what? How are you going to make that work? Is this like
procedurally
how's that gonna
generated?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this
gonna
going to be
yeah.
procedurally generated, like over and over and over, kind of like like
No Man's Sky, basically.
Yeah, No Man's Sky, or the uber repetitive moons in the first Mass Effect game, where it's like,
Yeah.
land here, go there, you can inspect
Leave.
this, leave, done. And it's like, how many of those? What, 900? Do we think 900 plus of the 1,000 planets are going to be like that?
Yeah,
It
probably.
feels
Also,
like
my favorite thing is that people are actually pointing out, like, hey, Bethesda, you're actually not very good at making, like, pristine games. You know, their past games are always full of glitches and
Full
stuff.
of bugs.
And so finally, people are all like, we're finally not, thinking you're going to make a good game because of that. And I'm just like, well, it's about time.
Yeah. I saw that someone had said one of the cities on one of the main planets in this game is supposed to be as big as all of Skyrim or something absurd like
I
that.
saw that, which is ridiculous.
How big is this game going to be? Can we even download it on the PlayStation?
Roughly
Or
7
Xbox.
terabytes.
Yeah, it seems like a bunch of No Man's Sky style large promises that aren't going to be pulled off successfully.
I don't even see how you could pull it off successfully, if I'm being honest, but
Yeah.
what do I know?
Well, the good news is Starfield, even with the one city on the main hub being the size of Skyrim and it having 1,000 different, presumably procedurally generated, the download will still be smaller than Call of Duty.
Insert game here.
Well, the Battle Royale Call of Duty that I
Vanguard?
forgot the name of, which ruined my joke. Warfront or something.
I don't know. Vanguard's the current game my dad's playing.
Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, which has a notoriously large download size. Anyways, that joke was a bomb. So I think overall the Bethesda showcase kind of lackluster, honestly. I don't think it was bad enough to call it a bomb, but it wasn't like, oh man, this is great.
Yeah, there were a couple things on there that looked cool. I don't hate Redfall, but I still don't know that I'll like Redfall. What else was on there? Flintlock.
Arc 2.
Yeah, Arc 2. I have no desire to play that. I still think the whole Vin Diesel thing looks horrible, but that's just me. They did show more Plague Tale, so let's go Requiem.
Mm-hmm. True. Overwatch 2 got a release date, October 4th, 2022. Nobody cares.
Yeah. My daughters were super excited when Minecraft Legends came up on the screen.
Yeah, what the F
If
even?
that counts.
What is that?
I don't know, I gotta look at this.
It's a real-time
Action
strategy Minecraft game.
Oh, like the Minecraft dungeons, but real-time
Sort of, yeah.
strategy.
Yeah. But it's sometime 2023, so it's, nowhere
It's also
near.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. That's really all I have thoughts about on that. I guess a bunch of the Persona games coming to Xbox is kind of a big news.
Oh
I
yeah,
forgot about that.
and they did announce they're coming to PlayStation and Steam also. So good.
There you go again.
I was just all like, you better put it on not just Xbox, because like I've been waiting to play Persona 4 Golden and Persona 3 of some fashion.
That would be a weird move to only bring it to Xbox, but it's good that they...
Well, that's initially how it was announced, and then even Atlas tweeted afterward just that was coming to Game Pass. Like, they didn't mention anything else, and I was all like usually, when a company says a game is coming to them, then the game company will say it's actually coming to all these things, but they didn't
Yeah.
at first, and so I was very concerned.
A lot of the announcements with like this limited exclusivity type stuff that's been going on recently, they'll announce it as coming to blah, and then they fail to mention that, and then in 3 months it will be on all of the other systems. It's very misleading, and
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it.
I was thinking, like, do we need to wait a year or something?
Yeah.
Oh, one other thing from the Microsoft Bethesda spectacular, or whatever you want to call it. I forgot. Kojima has partnered with Xbox for something. That's
something. Yeah.
I thought that he was already like signed to like an exclusivity deal with Sony, but maybe
he just keeps switching around.
I mean, he's got Kojima Productions.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're tied to any specific platform. Console.
I honestly don't want Kojima Productions to be tied to anything. Just let the man do what he wants.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's Hideo Kojima. Like, we get it. Just let him do games.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna do what he wants to do anyways. We saw what happened when Konami tried to control him. Just let the man games. Let him make his movies that occasionally you press buttons during.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I want to play I still need to play his walking simulator.
I don't even want to play that.
Which one is his walking simulator? Is that Death Stranding?
Death Stranding,
yeah. Did they announce a second one?
I thought that there was something about that, but it wasn't during this, so who knows?
Yeah,
I thought I remembered there being something about another one.
Death Stranding. Norman Reedus takes a walk.
Yep.
Oh, take a walk. Yes.
Oh, it wasn't an official announcement, but Reedus had mentioned something about Death Stranding 2 being in development. So there's no real official press release. But if Reedus is saying that he's working on it, he's probably working on it, and they're just waiting for the actual press release to happen.
I have to say Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus.
Yep, that was it.
Perfect.
All right. Let's see. My news items that I bring, I'm just going to resurrect the news items that we talked about on last week's Lost episode, which is the first. The Halo, I'm going to do this one first. The Halo Infinite co-op testing for campaign is beginning in July next month. So that's right. They're beta testing co-op campaign. They're not releasing it. This thing that they said would be ready in the summer. They're not releasing it. They're testing it. And on top of that, let's be honest, this probably should have been a feature that was in the gold release. Halo Infinite has been a mess from inception to still the future, apparently.
They didn't even have the campaign when the multiplayer came out, did they?
Nope, they did not.
Yeah. So, this co-op thing that I thought originally was supposed to come out last April, and now I'm hearing is not even in beta. Not even in beta yet. I mean, the good news is that they announced that after they have online co-op, they're actually going to add local co-op, which really surprises me. At least
they're doing that.
At least they're doing
that with Halo 5.
Yeah.
What is there to test for co-op?
Right?
They have multiplayer. Yeah, it's oh, what? There's a second person. You mean multiplayer?
You mean almost all Halo games before this one?
I was going to say, my favorite part of Halo, back when I used to play the Halo games regularly, I mean, this is may sound crazy, but was couch co-op. And
oh yeah, it's not crazy at all.
Co-op was Halo, and now it's we have to maybe check and see if this might work. We're not real sure.
My friend and I recently went through all Halo Reach 1 through 4 couch co-op because it was fun, and then we had to stop there because we don't have Xbox One, which is the only way to play Halo 5, and also we would have had to take turns playing it because it would have been co-op.
Yeah, it's online only co-op, not couch co-op, but at least it has co-op on Infinite.
Yeah, well, I was waiting for co-op to come out to play Infinite's campaign.
And on top of that, they still don't have the ability to go back and replay previous missions. If you want to play previous parts of the game, you have to start the game over and play through it.
Play through the entire game. Oh, you missed one achievement on the 7th mission?
Go back.
Sucks to be you.
this, I don't know what 343 has been doing, but they have destroyed the Halo series, and there's some other things that I don't even want to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, there's another thing that 343 did recently that was a news piece like yesterday. Let's not talk about that.
Let's not. That's a whole other just problem.
You're going to have to tell me what that is, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, let's
after the podcast, yeah.
We'll save it for the post-show, maybe. As a reason for people to have to go and subscribe to the Patreon to listen to whatever
it's a giant WTF.
It's a very bad PR gaffe. We'll put it that way.
It also reminds me, like, I used to play the Call of Duty campaigns with my dad. Well, like, I guess 2 games, because that's what was out at the time. And, like, it's just, sad that these people are all like, oh, multiplayer games don't need single-player story stuff anymore. It's not needed. It's like, well, it was good, though. Like, why drop out something that actually brought people to play your game?
Yeah, I don't understand the current just environment around developers' thoughts on this type of stuff.
It's
they
like
either
how
go with like straight multiplayer, battle royale, whatever, or weird online only pseudo multiplayer, or just straight up single player experiences.
Yeah, I actually heard that the Fortnite's like single player mode stuff was actually really good. It's just that and originally that's what the game was going to be, but then they decided to go for that battle royale stuff. And it's like, well, I didn't play the single player because it costs money.
I was an early adopter. I was one of the very first founders of Fortnite because the single player seemed really awesome, and I was super excited about that, and it was cool. And then the battle royale took over, and I'm mad because I gave them money as a founder. I've complained about this multiple times in the past. I got screwed by Epic and Fortnite because they sold me a game that wasn't the game that they ended up making.
Yeah.
So, that makes me angry.
Come on, developers. People still like playing single-player stuff. It's fine.
Stop making all these other games, developers, and only make the games I like, okay? Then you'll get sales.
It's not complicated.
When they, showed the first trailer for the Fortnite Battle Royale stuff, I'm just like, but why?
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of funny, because the only reason... It was like the Fortnite Battle Royale was a side project. They were like, let's do this based off of the popularity of PUBG.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, it took over. Killed PUBG, by the way. And, went from a side project, fun little one-off mode that they were doing for, a month or so to, that's just what the game is now. Yep. Anyways, that was our conversation about Halo. Which...
It's a bomb.
I'm still... The Halo Battle Royale, I'm telling you. Boy. The other news item that we discussed last week that we can bring up again is Sonic Frontiers. Oh boy. Here we go again. I guess I'm the bearer of bad news this week. Sonic Frontiers had the early show preview footage that they had put out a couple weeks ago. And IGN's senior editorial producer, Mitchell Saltzman, who Sonic team, Sega, had partnered with IGN for these reveals. So that's why IGN is making these statements. He said, if you're worried about how the Blue Blur will fare in this unfamiliar genre, I think Crush 40 put it best. Open your heart. It's gonna be alright. It's worth emphasizing that this gameplay and the version that I played were from an early build. So they're saying, don't worry, if you didn't like the way it looked, it was from an early build.
It's so cringe.
Yeah. One, that's very reactionary, just like, oh no, they didn't like it. Well, don't worry, we're still working on it. It'll change from that. Why didn't you tell us that up front, that this was an early build and things are changing? Why are you just now being like, oh no, ugly Sonic was bad and now we're going to have to go in and fix it and make it good? And this sort of just goes back to at least the thing I harp on all the time, which is all of these announcements, these hype cycle type things are coming out way too early, if this is such an early build that things are still changing and you have to, hey, don't worry, it's an early build, maybe you shouldn't have put that footage out there yet. Maybe you should have worked on it until it was ready for the public to actually see it.
Also, during that interview thing, they announced that gameplay is that you find or make portals into the more linear stage kind of levels, and it's like, well, maybe you should have shown that part to be all like, hey guys, don't worry, there is still some Sonic gameplay in here.
Yeah, I mean, when this footage first dropped, and I mentioned this on that episode that we talked about it, Sonic is go fast. That's his whole thing. And you've got this game where, again, you're running around solving puzzles, so stop and look and think and figure it out. That's betraying the core gameplay of the series. Rob, have you seen any of this Sonic stuff for Sonic Frontiers?
I've been looking at the Sonic stuff from Sonic Frontiers, and I have no idea what's going on. Honestly,
None of us do.
Yeah.
There's a quote here that in an IGN article that I saw earlier that I don't know. Here's what it is. Why are they're calling it open zone instead of open world?
Yeah.
And so Kishimoto told IGN that level-based platformers have a world map. Our open zone is a world map. Only we've made it entirely playable.
Yeah, so
playable world map that includes stage-like elements is something that hasn't really been done before, so we had to come up with a new name.
False.
Which is often defined as a world in other level-based platformers, but it's called a zone in Sonic games. So we took that and combined it with open, which refers to a freely explorable field. So that's what open zone stands for.
It's a hub world. It's a hub world.
Never done before. It's not like Sonic Adventure or Sonic 06 or Spyro or anything.
Anything that has a hub
world. It's
world.
completely new.
Yeah,
guys.
this is completely new with puzzles in a world to watch. Yeah, no. That it just processed in my head what you said, Xiber. It's Spyro.
Sonic Generations technically has that. It's not open world. It's a 2D platformer.
Nonetheless, it's an open hub world.
Yeah.
With puzzle elements to unlock additional worlds.
They should have announced that a long time ago. People
they're reinventing the wheel here.
Poorly.
And also stop
Poorly.
making Sonic live in a realistic looking world. Give him the Mario Odyssey style.
I did see the I don't remember exactly what this was, but it was an article I saw where one of the Sonic team leaders was like, "Don't worry, Sonic probably won't kiss humans anymore."
Probably.
Yeah.
We gotta leave that door open just
as writers in the background go, wait, what?
We're not doing what? Huh?
Okay, what if the girl turns into a hedgehog before it happens?
Oh, please stop this line of thought. We're gonna get so much fan fiction.
Oh, too late. I'm drowning in it.
I'm writing it as we speak.
No, Rob, no.
Rob the Hedgehog.
Rob the Hedgehog.
Someone take this notebook quickly.
That was a water bottle.
Yes, it was actually.
So those are the bombs. I was gonna say speaking of Notebook, but I don't really want to do Bomber's Notebook. We're getting late in the episode here. Instead,
no, we don't have enough time.
What I do want to touch on briefly is, Rob, your fun little story about how every time you're a guest on the show, something interesting seems to happen to you.
I don't know if interesting is the right word.
Infuriating.
Yeah, infuriating. That's the word. So last time I was on, if you all may recall, someone had drilled a hole in the gas tank of my truck, which I no longer have. About a month ago, I bought a car. Just had to do some minor things, get an oil change, they had to do what's called an IDOD. I don't know if any other states other than Missouri have this stupid thing that you have to do. If the car comes from a different state, you have to take it and get it halfway inspection, where they check the VIN number and check the mileage, and then look up the VIN number and make sure the mileage sort of kind of matches.
Interesting.
Dropped it off at a I don't know. It's a Missouri thing. It only costs $10, so I would call it a money grab. But again, it's only $10, so it's a fairly poorly planned money grab if it is.
Yeah, my state grabs money a different way from cars.
Yeah.
So I dropped it off yesterday after work to get this done. Oil change and that. Picked it up a little bit before the time when the oil change place that was doing it was going to close. And I don't know, long story short, my car was kind of running a little wonky. It was idling kind of rough. Got home. It almost died while waiting on the garage door to be opened. That was cool.
Oh.
And then when I got it in the garage, I shut it off, and not much long after that, it didn't really want to start it, and it would, rev up or whatever like a car normally does when you start it. And then the best way to look at it is the RPM gauge. It would rise, and then it would immediately fall back down, and the car would die.
Oh my.
And then so various check engine lights would come on. And so, yeah, I don't really know how the oil change from hell killed my car, but here we are.
Car's dead.
Yes, well, it'll start now, but it just like sitting in park, it sounds, it's idling at like over 2,000 RPMs, which essentially means
it sounds like it's
like
dying.
You've got your foot on the gas the entire time, and I don't know why, so I have to luckily that's it's all warranty covered, so I just have to drop it off tomorrow, but it's still really annoying.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I wonder if that actually is connected to the oil change, or if it was just some sort of defect, because you said you only had it for like a month, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought it like the 10th of May or something like that, so somewhere in that ballpark. It could be. I vaguely remember an older vehicle of mine doing something similar to this, and I feel like it was like an oil pressure sensor that was causing all of the issues, but I could be wrong. I'm not a mechanic. I'm just a mediocre X-ray tech.
Oh, see, this is why I changed my own oil.
I need to get an oil change, actually. This conversation has reminded me.
Well, if you lived near me, I would offer it, but...
You are not close to me in the slightest.
Nope, I think it would be cheaper for you to go get it done instead of drive all the way over here.
Yeah, I would save...
I actually used to
nothing.
Change my own oil, but then it got to the point to where then taking the oil to be disposed of cost almost as much as paying them to change my oil, so then I got lazy.
Well, that's sad. There's a gas station near us that just takes it for free.
That's very handy.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I just dump it down the storm drain.
That's terrible.
That's one way to do it.
No.
I just put it in my garbage disposal. That works, right?
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Speaking of, my garbage disposal no longer works, and it's sad.
At least you had a garbage disposal.
Yeah, it was the first one I ever had, and now that we don't have any more, it's like, well, I mean, we just put it in the garbage instead, but...
I miss having an actual dishwasher that wasn't just my two hands.
Yeah.
This is like the first time Haley has had a dishwasher, so I'm just like, alright, stuff goes here, don't put stuff here.
This is the soap. Press these buttons.
Well, I had to figure that out too. It was like a dial thing, so it's like, alright, just move it to be in the preheat water thing and let it run.
I don't like the dial ones. I much prefer the more modern push button ones. Those are so much easier.
Yeah. I do like knowing how much time is actually left.
I mean, it's gonna run till it's done anyway, so what does it matter?
Well, like one time I started it and then I like went for a run and an hour later it was still going and it wasn't even like halfway done. And I was like, man, it really takes that long?
Did Haley like reset it while you were gone or something?
No, she was walking on the treadmill next to me.
Huh. Weird. Well, I hope
anyway, Rob, like that just tells me that we should stop inviting you to the podcast because whenever we do, someone has it out for your car.
Apparently, I don't even know at this point.
Yeah, break my car once, shame on you. Break my car twice, shame on me. Break my car 3 times, you don't get a car anymore.
No car for you.
Car. Let's cap this off with a little bit of Minish recap. Mostly just to say, hey Rob, is there anything cool that you've been doing recently that you would like to chat about?
I've been playing a bit of Trek to Yomi here recently.
Nice.
And by a bit, I mean I started it like last week, and then I played it a handful of hours. It's really cool. It's for people who maybe don't know what it is, or maybe don't remember. It's a black and white game. It looks like any old 70s samurai movie
Kurosawa.
that you may have watched or not seen, and it plays like that. It's actually really really fun so far. It's kind of side scroll. It's a side scroller, but you can not just go side to side, up, down, and around. It's I don't know even what you would call that. Side scroller where you can go different directions other than side to side.
I don't know.
It's a newer styled side scroller. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's set in like feudal Japan. I don't want to get too spoilery, but it's a Devolver Digital game.
Which they do have a lot of really good games. Devolver Digital. I mean, they did Fall Guys.
They have another game that was announced recently that looks really good.
Yeah.
I forget what it was.
Thanks for contributing. Trek to Yomi looks cool. I actually did get it with Game Pass on PC, but I have not launched it yet. I have not played it yet. But it looks cool. I remember when they announced that during one of the... I think it was the same show where they did the announcement for Neon White, actually. The game that comes out today as we're recording this. And it looked cool. I'm very much burping my guts out. I'm very much looking forward to hearing more of your thoughts on that, Rob, because I trust your opinion for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, once I definitely, once I get deeper into it, I will kind of weigh in on the Discord. I guess Devolver's like the publisher, the developer's Flying Wild Hog.
Right. I guess that is worth mentioning. Devolver Digital does a lot of publishing.
It's the Plucky Squire.
They tend.
Oh, I actually saw saw something about the Plucky Squire. Was that on the Xbox event too, or
it might have been? I think it was Nintendo.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. That's what it was.
The Plucky Squire.
Yeah, it's like a storybook of a plucky squire, but then he jumps out of the storybook and
yeah.
He interacts
Jumps
with
page to page.
Yeah, and he interacts with objects on a desk in a room and such.
Yeah, I just pulled it up here. This looks neat. Oh,
It's an interesting.
It
concept.
kind of a little bit almost reminds me of Chicory. A Colorful Tale. I don't know if you remember that one.
Nope.
Well,
yeah, I was gonna say.
Look that one up later too. That one's pretty neat looking. This looks fun. This Plucky Squire. I'll play this. I would play this. I guess, Xiber, we'll have to save our media conversation for another 2 weeks, so it gives us more time to forget all of the movies and shows that we watched.
Well, they're already late compared to when they were released, so it's not like we're trying to keep up with the times or anything. We're too old for that.
Nah, I can't do that anymore. Are you kidding?
Oh shoot, that's right. I need to watch Miss Marvel. That's a thing that exists.
Oh, I forgot that. I do have to watch that too. Dang. All right.
All right. Later, guys. We need to go watch Miss Marvel.
watch party at Xiber's place. Rob, you in?
That's on it.
All right. We'll see you there. The rest of you out there in the world listening to us, watch party at Xiber's place. Miss Marvel. Meet us 3 days ago.
Be there or be square.